So the glue of this whole system was money. With the invention of money, everything starts to flow, because money oils and wheels, you know, this system. It oils the wheels of this system, right? So money replaces the motivations that nature put in us. Whether it was the motivation of erotic attraction or other physical experiences that would make us respond to them, money slowly replaces, in a sense, what the body has been, the programming of the body. And money is how it's all sustained, because man makes money and pays into the system and uses the money to support this, the wife, the mother of his children, and support his children, and then leaves money behind so that this line, this lineage, this generational kind of like control goes on through after death, right? So without that, the whole setup makes very little sense, because if you start over at the end of everybody's life, from scratch, the setup doesn't work. And that's why we compete so hard and fight so hard and fight about borders, which were invented along with everything else at, sometime in the agrarian age, right? But all of these ideas were invented to sustain this basic setup. So fast forward, like 6,500 years, it's not that much, considering how long we've been around. I mean, we were hunter-gatherers for millions of years, so these are hundreds of thousands of years. This is nothing in the big picture, but it's a lot in our personal picture. From where we look at it, it's a lot, thousands and thousands of years. So here we are, World War II, a lot more changes besides reproduction, but the secret is no longer secret. The secret of paternity has been cracked. In a sense, patriarchy has no longer a reason to exist. Like, we no longer need it. We no longer have to have sex in order to have children, and we no longer need to captivate, capture and keep still, let's say, within the home, the mother of the children in order to know who the father is. This is just like a huge change. So we have serial marriages, and monogamy is pretty much finished, except, for people who still want to do it, but it's no longer obligatory. All of these things become no longer needed, no longer obligatory. So whereas, being a homosexual before that period was a crime, now, homosexuals get married, have their own children, etc. So how do we get out of being stuck in this post-patriarchy? Well, money was the glue of the system, and money is how we can move forward without completely breaking apart. If we do nothing, we will break apart in a violent way. And we see signs of that all the time, because people are confused and they look around and they don't know whom to blame. So they fall for all kinds of demagogues. They will see enemies where there are no enemies, and there will be war, and it will cause a lot of young men to die. And culturally speaking, young men all of a sudden are no longer needed, because we're in a post-patriarchal stage. So women can make money. I mean, they're needed in the labor force, right? We are a global labor force. We have become a global labor force That's what this whole multinational, post-national corporate setup has been. So everything is financialized. The only solution is monetary. And the way to do it is to make motherhood a job, so man is free from having to support a wife in order to be a father, and a woman can have children without having to enter into the old patriarchal contract, right, of marriage or those arrangements, and she can be a mother as if she has a job, with benefits, with a down payment for a house, with a pension, not for the entirety of the mothering years, of course, but for the intense years, and also, which is the first, let's say, 6 or 7 years, and then after the first 6 years, she gets training and career services to go into a career of her choice. So I see this as a passage, as a bridge program into what we're going to become, and I see the organization of it similar to the Corps, right? So the Defense Corps is organized in a similar way, and I think that bringing the mother's body, the mother's job, which is the most fundamental for the survival of a nation and a species, into the responsibility of the government as well as all the different nonprofits, is the only way forward. It's the only way to catch up to what has changed and to express it in the vast population, and not just among the few wealthy who can afford to do that.